Rogers Anderson, Williamson County's mayor, and as we travel around the county and look at our other elected officials and our employees within Williamson County government, we have the distinct honor to be with a gentleman that most of you will know, and Joey Davis, our trustee here in Williamson County. Thanks for being with us today.
Good morning, Rogers.
We appreciate you coming out behind that desk and dealing with some issues that are very near and dear to our heart, and you have a very trusted individual with you today also.
I sure do, and I'd be remiss if I didn't introduce her first. This is Karen Paris, who's the Chief Deputy Trustee, but she also has a title within your county government. She's the financial analyst for Williamson County. She advises me and the investment committee of when we need to invest money. She tracks rates for us. She does all this. She's a very capable person. I'm fortunate to have her in the office.
She's very good. Joey, before we get to talking a little bit about your office today, and this show is going to be airing when a lot of people will have you on their mind. They'll be receiving things in the mail. They'll be trying to figure out how they want to do it for those people that pay taxes, and I think that's 100%. It should be. Let's talk a little bit about Joey Davis. Joey Davis, the man who's has lived just about his entire life here in Williamson County.
Well, as the old man says, I haven't lived here all of it yet. I was born in Williamson County, and for those of you who have been here a long time, I was named after William Walter Pyle, who was a doctor here and who delivered me in my grandparents' home. And that house is at the end of Battlefield Drive, which is across from the old BGA campus. And I told someone, I think they're going to put a hysterical marker up there. But anyway, I've been fortunate to went through the school system here, special school district, and then county school, high school, Franklin High School. Joined the Navy, got a great education in the Navy. Met a beautiful young lady. We got married in Monterey, California. We moved to Morocco, to Africa. And then we went back to Monterey, and I studied. I had been there before studying Russian language, and I studied Turkish. And then we went to Fort George G. Meade, Maryland. I was in the Navy, but I spent a lot of time on Army bases. We went to work at the National Security Agency, and we came home to live in 1968. Went to work for the Postal Service as a carrier, and rose to become Superintendent of Postal Operations. We did not have an assistant postmaster. That was a title for my job. I managed for them. Got promoted a few years later by Andy Walker to his staff. And by the way, Karen's dad worked on that staff also in Nashville. Took an early retirement in 1992 at the age of 52. Bought Toby's Chicken Kitchen, the favorite greasy spot for all the guys and girls. Ran for office in 1994 and got elected and been there. I will be remiss to say that everyone who knows me knows that I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer when it comes to brains. But I have been smart enough to hire, probably I think, and I'm sure every elected official and every appointed official thinks their staff's the best, but I've got the best staff, starting with Karen all the way down. I'm proud to look you in the face and tell you we have not had a turnover in almost 8 years now, and I think that speaks for itself. We have a good office and everybody does their job.
Joey, I'll ask Karen, and what is the role of a trustee?
We'll see what Karen says.
The trustee is charged in every county with handling all the county's money. Comes through our office. We are the county banker. And that means we invest temporarily idle funds for the county. All the money that the county's not using for something else, it's all budgeted, but it's not all spent right out of the gate. So while it's in our office to handle, we invest that money, try to get the best returns for the county, for all the citizens. In addition, we collect the property taxes, which is what we're best known for. We do that for Williamson County, the city of Thompson Station, and Nolensville. Currently, and the Franklin Special School District. So we do that and handle state funds that come into the county, all come through our office, and importantly, also tax relief. I was trying to think, what all do we do? We administer 3 tax relief programs, including the Williamson County tax freeze, State of Tennessee property tax relief for elderly, and the Williamson County broad-based tax relief program.
And we want to talk about those kind of towards the end of our show, each one of those relief programs that your office administers. Of course, your job is not to set the tax rate. Your job is not to approve any tax increases. Your job is simply to collect those taxes that the county commission, all 24 members, male and female, have to vote on a month-by-month basis, and then one time a year they have to set the budget, and that's where the tax rate is set. Many times people think, either you or me, and I'm sure Karen, you too, well, why can't we adjust this? If you live in Williamson County, you have taxes in which to pay. You may not like them any more than Joy or you and I like, but it is a function of government to keep government going. Oftentimes people see those funds, and we had a discussion recently with our new budget director, Nina Graham, which both of you know and have worked with for many, many years, that her main job is to be sure the money is allocated in those areas, oversee the financial side of it, and yours is to be sure that money is really there.
Correct.
And there's a big difference. And it probably, if you really thought about it, you would not set up a corporation or a business the way that it's structured in government.
Probably not.
It's an awkward, often difficult process that we go through. But over a period of time, it works because we work together, because we're all here for the same purpose, and that is to make the best government that we can here in Williamson County. Debt is always a prominent conversation here in Williamson County, state level, national level, but a fast-growing county like Williamson County, the fastest in the state, then you're going to have growth issues, and usually that's tied to schools, new school buildings, and again, Joy Davis, Karen, they do not, and nor do I. We have to administer those. Now, we can influence, and oftentimes that's what we do. Joy, going back to the trustee's job and role, it's a mammoth job to keep up with that with the number of employees you've got. But you also have some partners that help you administer.
Oh, yes.
You also have some people in our community that are very civic-minded and offer their services.
Well, the banking community in as a whole in Williamson County has been extremely kind to the Williamson County Trustee's Office, and in turn been very good to the people of Williamson County. Through the banks taking taxes for us, and through our office, through online, and Karen's going to talk about that in a minute also, we offer the people in Williamson County over 50 different places to pay their taxes. We make it convenient for them. But you're talking about growth, and that's one of the things that's really helps us keep the number of employees down. We have one bank that does lockbox service for us. They process payments for us. Last year, for the 2011, they processed some $60 million, 25,000 checks that you and I and the people watching this show that we didn't have to pay to go to the post office to get it, have the envelope open, burst it open, get the contents out, and to record it. Then they send us an electronic payment file. But 25,000 checks is a lot of checks that she and I didn't have to manage. And you're talking about growth. I'm in my 19th year as trustee of Williamson County. When I came in, we had some 40,000 parcels, and a parcel is just a tract of land. Today, you might have a farm that has 400 acres, and it's one parcel. As we know with the growth here, next year, that may be 300 parcels because it's broken up. But we had around 40,000 parcels that the trustee was charged to collect taxes on. And this year, we'll collect some 90,000. So we've doubled in the number of parcels. Does that mean we've doubled in population? No, sir. It means our workload has doubled. And back to the collection, the trustee manages all the money that's cash flow. And ours is not to look at the ROI, the return on investment. Ours is to look at putting the money in the bank, collecting that money, safeguard it, be proper stewards of the money, and when it goes through bookkeeping through Karen's side of our shop, Donna Ryan's our bookkeeper. Donna funds the accounts that were approved by you all through the budget process. Out of every $2.31 collected, that's our overall tax rate. She puts it where it needs to go, like it's approved. Of that $2.31, dollar goes here, dollar here, whatever it is. And that's how we get it to Nina. And Nina's job is to go forward from there. But Karen's right. Every dollar that comes into the county either comes in the form of money or a deposit ticket or a record of that deposit to our office.
Karen, your time on the hot seat. First part of October, something very important happens in this county, but it also happens throughout all counties in the state of Tennessee. Talk to us a little bit about October 1 and what's the significance of that day.
Well, October 1 is when, actually the first Monday in October under the law is when property taxes become due and payable in every county across Tennessee. Our customers have from that date until the end of February each year to pay their taxes during the period that's the tax collection period, on-time period. They become delinquent March 1st of 2013. So if anyone in the county has not received their tax bill by the second week in October, they need to let us know because we will be happy to provide them with a duplicate statement, of those taxes. So we send every property owner a tax statement, and that's based on the January 1 ownership of the property. If you own a parcel of land or a business on January 1 of 2012, you will get the property tax notice for this year. And that's even if you sold that property since then. We do have new owner records, and so new owners are also notified of property taxes because it's not for really us to say which party is supposed to be paying those, so we try to notify everyone involved.
Let me ask you something. We're going to do something different this year. You're going to add a service out of your office, out of the trustee's office. It's kind of 21st century technology that you all are doing. It's got to be a little nerve-wracking to think, well, we're going to do this, but we're not really going to start the old process. We are going to try a little bit. What are we doing?
Right. We are enacting an e-billing program, and that is...
Now, we talk this word, what does that mean? Electronic? Is that what it is?
Electronic billing. Basically, and actually it's step one of ultimately doing an e-bill, and that is we have been collecting email addresses through our website, which is williamsonpropertytax.com. That has been, we've had a website available for several years where we had a previous vendor. Currently we're with a company called Sturgis Web Services, and they administer the county's pay and search. We call it a search and pay website that people can, professionals who are title searchers, real estate folks, banks can use the site, but just the general public can as well. You can go out there and search for a property tax, get a statement, a copy of a receipt, look at what's owed, if it's been paid, if it's unpaid. You can do all that. It's free of charge, and then you can also choose to make a payment online. So through that, our vendor has initiated a portal where people can submit their email address and request to be added to the e-billing, and it was component. I don't know exactly what to call it, and it was just advertised that in the future we would like to establish e-billing, and so people have been doing that. We've collected not a massive amount of emails through that yet, about 150 so far, but we also have a tremendous number of email addresses that people provide when they've actually paid online for the past 2 or 3 years. So to the people who've requested the e-bills and to everyone who simply used the site and paid, we are going to be sending an email out once the tax bills become available for 2012. So that'll be right around the 1st of October. And it will simply provide a link this year back to the website for them to be able to pay their taxes or print a copy of their statement.
Now, wait a minute. Let me ask you something. That's going to be safe and secure?
It certainly is. It certainly is. It's, the website has passed the scrutiny of the state auditors. We have to jump through a lot of hoops before we can do anything, in government. We have to to ensure the safety
Justly
of
so.
everyone.
Well, now wait a minute. Let me ask this question. I don't have email. If I didn't have email, am I not going to get? I don't have to pay taxes, right?
Yeah.
No, everyone, including anyone that we're sending this email out to, is going to get a paper statement as well, and we don't anticipate stopping that service.
Now, in the future, if we may go to something that says you might not get a full tax bill. You may get a notice that yours has been electronically sent to you. So, but we want the public to always know it's out there. But as you talked about growth a while ago, that's what's bringing about these changes. I'm a lot older than you, and certainly a lot older than Karen, but my generation is not much interested in getting that. But the people who are moving to Williamson County, who travel, who work different hours, they want to be able to go on at 2 o'clock in the morning and pay that. Karen was giving me some numbers the other day. How many people did you say went on our website in August?
There were 4,500 hits
4,500.
on the website in August, and that's actually a little bit of because August is not a super busy month for us. That's a little lower than average. We average about 5,000 hits a month. We've had, and I did a little research for this, we've had 43,000 visits to the website since January 1st of this year. So those are not our calls that are not coming into the
Potential
office
calls,
where
right.
people can get all that information 24/7. I mean, I see that we get hits Saturday and Sunday just like we do, Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30. So it really expands our ability to serve our customers.
Joey, when as our county continues to grow, and you see the same numbers I do, you're out and about, certainly giving speeches and talks and involved in our community, and the general census is out there from the census people. The people that add heads are saying that our population is going to double in about 25 to 30 years, and you and I will be long gone from that time of having to worry about collecting and running
Greater rewards.
but as you leave this next generation, this 2035 is just around the corner. 2040 is not that far off. There's going to be changes like we've never seen in technology, and it's almost, whether we like it or not, we're going to have to embrace it. Whether we care to change is probably immaterial. There'll be certain elements of people Joey and I's age that might not be as attuned to your generation or our grandchildren's innovations. But we saw that same thing occur, and I know this, Karen, that you may not see the parallel with it, but the Williamson County Fair occurred this year, and we did something that you could buy tickets online, and we just saw this enormous new purchasing power by using your phone or your computer to purchase your tickets. And even they didn't even have to have a piece of paper. They could walk in with their phone, show it. We had a machine that would scan it, and they could walk right into the fair gates and never ever touch a piece of paper. Now, for folks like Joey and I, we said, well, let's try this. Had no earthly idea that it would mushroom and balloon. I can only think, as we go through the next few years, that the changes that are going to be required. However, as you've indicated, it has to be approved by state audit, has to be safe and sound, because you all have the, whether you like it or not, the ultimate responsibility of being sure those tax dollars are in those in those banks that you say they are.
That's right, and I would be remiss also if I didn't brag again on our office. I'm told by the state that no one measures a county on its collection, but I have been told if we're not the highest, we're in the top 1 or 2 in the state, we collect over 99%, generally 99.5, 99.6% of our tax aggregate, and the tax aggregate is simply the sum of all those parcels taxes that this office, our office is and we collect, like I said, about 99.5, 99.6, but before we statutorily, it's not that I want to do it, it's that I have to do it. Our office has to turn those taxes over to court to collect. Back to your electronic means, the government, we're here to serve, And we're getting calls from people that want these services. And like I said, we don't want to toot our horn too much, but when I go to staff and say, I've got this call, how can we do this? I don't get from Karen Karen manages the financial side of our office. I don't get with Ken. I get, well, let's think about this. How can we do it? And that's how we came up with this. And that number to me is staggering that in August we had 4,500 people looking at property tax records one way or another. I can't imagine those phone calls if we hadn't have done this already of where we would be. I'd be in your office every day. Say, boss, you got to get me some help up here. We can't.
Moving on, because let's talk about this tax relief issue that you brought up, Karen. It is so important that we get that message out. First of all, we need to say that in July of 2012, the county commissioners did not pass a tax increase.
Thank you.
End of discussion.
Right.
Does that mean everyone's tax bill is going to be the same as last year? The answer to that is no. And the reason of that is the value that's on that Brad Coleman's team of people up in the assessor's office who assigns these values for my house, my home, that may have increased in value. Now, I may have a difference of opinion with Mr. Coleman. My house hasn't increased in value. That's a whole different area of responsibility, and people need to know that. But those tax bills that are going to go out, you're going to send to my house. You're going to send them both through the mail. You're either going to send them electronically or through the mail. And in some cases, a vast majority of our homes in Williamson County on escrow account.
That's correct.
And people may not really see that until they have that little adjustment period, or it's the same in a February, March, when your mortgage company makes contact with you and says it's up or down based upon what the property tax is. And you've got your homeowner's insurance in there oftentimes. Now, some people will argue and say, well, I only pay my mortgage, I don't pay my escrow or my property taxes or anything. That's left up to you and your mortgage company. That's not left up to you or me.
Right.
But let's talk a little bit about those people that are going to get that tax bill and they're going to wring their hands trying to figure out how to pay that. What can we do for them?
Well, first of all, I want to say we send tax bills. When you buy a piece of property and you or your attorney goes into Ms. Wade's office, Register of Deeds office, and you register that deed, there's a place that says send the tax bill to. And that's where the assessor picks up and the tax bill goes there. We made a decision many years ago to send those tax bills to that recorded property owner. And it's the property owner's responsibility, if they have an escrow or whatever, to send it to whomever they want to pay it. And that's why people get that tax bill.
Got 5 minutes. We need to get this
Okay.
tax relief.
Sure.
Get us going, Karen.
We serve about 1,700 seniors in our community who are on some level of fixed income. That's through one or more of our programs, because people can qualify for all of them if their income limits allow them to. But through the property tax freeze, which simply freezes the person's homeowner's taxes at the level of the first year that they apply for the program. Their taxes will never go up. Or the senior tax relief through the state and through the county. Those programs are income-based, so what we encourage people to do is to call our office and talk to one of our great tax relief staff members, Lisa Jackson, who's our tax relief coordinator, Melanie Glenn, who's one of our tax clerks, and Tracy Carner, another of our tax clerks, and they tax relief clerks, and one of them will be happy to sort of pre-qualify the applicant and let them know if they might qualify for the program, and make an appointment for them to come in and provide some information to us.
So now, Joy, if I did tax relief, one of those 3 programs, last year, I don't have to worry about it. You're going to give me that same relief next year, correct?
No, sir. That relief that you get from the state, from Williamson County, and also we've left that one in, whatever the state gives, Williamson County government matches dollar for dollar. So some people actually can have 4 different options or benefits in that. Your income and your amount of taxes, determines what your relief is. Most of that relief is you pay your taxes up front, then you get a rebate. The state tax relief, once you're on the program, your tax bill is a little bit different. It will tell you how much relief the state's going to give you, what Williamson County is going to match, and you pay the residual amount.
But applicants do have to requalify every year. Everyone has to provide income information from the prior year. So for 2012, we'll be looking at 2011 income for the applicants, and that does have to be proven but through documentation, through income tax returns, et cetera, all held privately. But to ensure that only people who justly need to be on the program are on the program.
Now, Karen, we're sitting here today, and the bills are going to go out, and there's probably someone watching that and say, well, I'd like to have some more information. Is there a phone number they can call and talk to someone, or is there a website? You're all talking about these 4,500 hits, all these thousands of people coming on. There's got to be a website I can go to. How do I get there?
Absolutely. You can call our office at 790-5709 and ask to speak to someone in tax relief, or visit our website at www.williamsonpropertytax.com for more information.
Joey, we got 2 minutes left.
We welcome those phone calls, because when someone calls in, our staff, Aaron, Lucy, and Tana, I think the only ones we haven't mentioned, between us, we get the phones and we have an opportunity to explain to them how their taxes came about, how that amount's there, and we can't change it, but our job is to try to help them to understand it. We have found out if you can get someone to understand it, it is a better pill for them to swallow.
And if I may, we really encourage seniors who might be, if you make $48,000 or less, call us, and we'll see if you can qualify for the programs. We want that information out, and we want people to take advantage of the programs. If I may, I'd like to put a little plug in for the assessor's office. They've already done all their work for this year. There was not a countywide reappraisal, so most people will probably have the same taxes they had last year. They've done their work, and it's already in the pipeline. We haven't gotten the tax roll yet, but we already know what we're going to be charged to collect, and we appreciate all their hard work.
And for you, sir, that's $202 million for 2012 we're challenged to collect.
And we do, not hitting on the negative side, just a few seconds we've got left. It is a responsibility of everyone to pay taxes. You may not like it, and we encourage you to figure out a method of which they can get those taxes in here, either through your escrow account, your mortgage account, but ultimately the homeowner, the property owner is responsible for those taxes.
And we want to thank you for the opportunity that you've given us to come to tell people about our programs. Our county commission is very good in approving these programs, funding these programs, and we want as many people as we can on these programs that qualify for the programs.
Joey Davis, Campers, you got a question about how to pay the taxes, tax relief? These are the folks to call. I'm Rogers Anderson, Williamson County Mayor. See you around the county next time.
When sharing the road, reaction time is important. Motorists should reduce their speed and avoid tailgating, especially in bad weather. Cyclists have the same rights and responsibilities as motorists. They should travel in the same direction on the right hand of the road and obey all traffic signals. Observing these rules provides predictability for both motorists and cyclists. Remember, same roads, same rules, same rights.